Hi, good to see you here. If you enjoy reflecting about life in English in this deeper way, take a second to subscribe to the channel and activate the notifications. It looks small, but it tells the platform that this kind of content matters, and it helps this message reach more people who need it. Today, we are going to talk about something that everybody feels, but almost nobody really looks at directly. Time. Time slips away. That quiet, strange feeling that days are passing, weeks are passing, years are passing, and somehow you are still in a very similar place. You blink, and suddenly you are older. You look back and think, when did all this time go? Maybe you planned to start studying English last year. Then you remember, it was not last year, it was 3 years ago. You promised yourself, this year I will be consistent. You bought a notebook. You downloaded an app. You watched some videos. Then work came. Family things came. Tiredness came. You pressed pause. And now another year is almost gone. Time slipped away. This happens not only with English, it happens with exercise, projects, dreams, relationships. You think, I have time. I will start soon. I will do it when things are calmer. And when soon arrives, you are busy again. So you push it a little more. Until one day you realize that later became your normal life. Let us talk honestly about this. Not to create panic, but to wake up a little. Because time is not just something outside you. Time is your life. When time slips away, life is slipping away. And the most dangerous part is this. It slips away quietly, not with big explosions, but with small, harmless-looking decisions. Just today, I will not practice. Just one more episode. Just 5 more minutes on my phone. One day is not a problem, but when just today becomes your pattern, months disappear. So why does time slip away so easily? And what can you do to move from letting time just pass to actually living inside your days? Let us begin with a simple idea. Time is not felt in hours. It is felt in attention. You can spend 1 hour fully present and remember it clearly. Or you can spend 5 hours half present, jumping between screens, tasks, thoughts, and that time will feel like a blur. Many of us are not really living our time. We are half there. Our body is in one place. Our mind is in another. So our memories of the day are weak. That is why sometimes you feel like the week disappeared. It did not disappear. You just were not very present for it. The second idea is this. We underestimate days and overestimate years. We say, one more day doing nothing does not matter. Next year I will be different. But a year is made of days. If almost every day you repeat the same pattern, next year will look very similar to this one. We love big words. 2027 will be my year. But your year does not change on January 1st. It changes on a normal Tuesday, when you decide to use 30 minutes differently. Time slips away when we live in future promises instead of present actions. The third idea. We confuse being busy with using time well. You can spend your whole day busy answering messages, scrolling, reacting to things, and still feel empty at the end. Because busyness is not the same as meaning. At night, you ask yourself, what did I actually do for myself today, for my English, for my future? And the answer is very small. So you feel disconnected. You worked hard, but not on the things that are quietly important. Time slips away when your days are full of urgent things, but almost empty of important things. The urgent things shout. The important things whisper. If you do not consciously choose the whispers, the shouts will occupy everything. Now let us bring this to English, because English is one of the clearest examples of how time can work for you or against you. English grows with repetition, with contact, with small steps every day. You do not need 5 hours a day. You need a piece of each day. If you give nothing to English for long periods, time passes, but your English does not move. You look back and think, I have been trying to learn English for 10 years. But if you look closely, you will see that you had many periods of zero contact. A year is not 10 years of effort. Sometimes it is 1 month of effort repeated 10 times, with long pauses in between. There is no shame in this. You were doing the best you could with the tools you had. But if you see it, you can change it. Time can be a quiet enemy or a quiet ally. If every day you give English even a small, honest space, time starts to work for you. The same 15 minutes that used to disappear into scrolling become a brick in your future fluency. Now, why is it so difficult to use time intentionally? One reason is emotional. We often avoid the things that really matter, not because we are lazy, but because they make us feel vulnerable. Practicing English exposes your imperfections. Starting a project exposes your fears. Sitting alone with your thoughts exposes your pain. So your mind says, let us do something else. Something easy. Something that gives instant relief. And the easiest places to run to are screens. Video, social media, constant information. They give your brain small hits of stimulation. You feel busy, distracted, slightly entertained. You do not feel your discomfort so clearly. But the cost is your time. Another reason is that we rarely look at time honestly. We say, I do not have time to practice English. But if we track our day, we see minutes and hours escaping in small pieces. 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there. Time is leaving, like water through open fingers. So what can you do? How do you honor your time without becoming obsessed, without turning your day into a prison of productivity? Let us make this more practical. We can call this part time slips away. A gentler way to use it well. First, take an honest look at where your time goes. Not for a month, just for one day. Choose a normal day. From the moment you wake up until you sleep, every few hours ask yourself, what have I been doing for the last 2 or 3 hours? Not with guilt, with curiosity. How much time went to work? How much to family? How much to screens? How much to things that really matter to me? You might discover you have more time than you thought, but it is hidden inside habits. Second, choose one small block of time to protect. Not your whole day, just one block. It could be 15 or 20 minutes. Morning, afternoon, or night. This block is not for everyone else. It is for your future self. For example, you can decide, from 8 to 8:20 in the evening, this time belongs to my English. Or, right after lunch, for 15 minutes, I will work on something that really matters to me. When that time comes, you treat it like a real appointment. You would not cancel a doctor for no reason. So you do not cancel this small time for something unimportant. Third, decide in advance what you will do during that block. When you arrive in your 15 minutes without a plan, your mind starts negotiating. Should I watch a video? Should I read? Should I practice speaking? Maybe I should organize my notes instead. Half of your minutes go to deciding. So choose a simple routine. For English, it could be 5 minutes of focused listening, 5 minutes of repeating or shadowing what you heard, 5 minutes of speaking about your day or about the content, 15 minutes. Done. You are not trying to do everything. You are trying to create a repeatable pattern. Fourth, respect the power of small consistency. Your brain loves dramatic plans. From now on, 2 hours a day, every day, no excuses. Reality usually does not. Most people cannot sustain a huge plan for long. They do it for a week, then break, then feel guilty, then stop. Time slips away again. The secret is this: a small habit you actually keep beats a big plan you abandon. If you do 15 minutes most days for 6 months, your English, your projects, your inner life will feel very different. Time will have worked with you. Fifth, learn to distinguish between real rest and fake rest. Sometimes you do not use your time well because you are simply tired. You needed rest, but you gave yourself fake rest. Scrolling for an hour feels like rest, but often it fills your mind with noise. Real rest is anything that actually returns energy to your system. Sleep, silence, a walk, a conversation that nourishes you, breathing, even a short nap. Fake rest often leaves you more tired after. When you understand this difference, you can choose better. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is to really rest for 20 minutes so that the next 20 are alive. Sixth, connect your time with your values. If you use time only for tasks, you will eventually feel empty. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to become? What matters to me? Maybe I want to be someone who can communicate with confidence in English. I want to be someone who takes care of my health. I want to be someone who is present with the people I love. Then ask, how can I give a small part of today to this? Suddenly, your 15 minutes of English are not just study. They are you respecting the person you want to be. Your time becomes an expression of your values, not just of your habits. Finally, remember this: time will pass anyway. You do not need to use it perfectly. You are human. There will be days when everything goes off plan. Days when you are too tired, too sad, too overwhelmed. That is okay. The point is not to control every minute. The point is to wake up enough to make some minutes truly yours. To stop living only in autopilot. To look at your days and say, I did not control everything, but I did not completely sleep through my life either. Time slips away. But starting today, you can gently put your hand on a small part of it and say, this part I will use with intention. Maybe it is a few minutes with English. Maybe it is calling someone you miss. Maybe it is sitting in silence, just breathing, just being. When this video ends, choose one small block of time in the next 24 hours and decide, what will I give to myself in that time that my future self will be grateful for? Write it down. Honor it. And then, tomorrow, do it again, in your own imperfect human way. Your life is built inside these small, apparently ordinary minutes. They are not so ordinary. They are you.